In most cases, the status of parents will determine the starting point of their child's life. But this does not mean that everyone has a different starting point in life outcome. The only truth is that as long as you work hard enough, you will succeed. I firmly believe that our destiny is determined by our actions, not by our origins. That was an excerpt from John D. Rockefeller's first letter to his son. This is a book of his 38 letters to his son. Very interesting, very valuable stuff in here. If you didn't know, John D. Rockefeller was a massive oil baron in the late 19th and early 20th century. At the peak of Standard Oil, he may have controlled up to 1.5% of America's total GDP. Isn't that absurd? In 2026 money, that's about $430 billion under his control. Now back to his letter. As you know, when I was young, my family was very poor. When John D. Rockefeller was young, his dad was basically a snake oil salesman and pretty much abandoned him and his brother. In the beginning of my career as a bookkeeper, I was only earning a weekly salary of $5. $5 in 1855 was worth about $186 in 2026 money. He was earning $5 a week, $20 a month. In 2026 money, that is less than $800 a month to live and survive. That's rough. It was only through unremitting efforts that have enabled me to establish an enviable oil kingdom. At its peak, Standard Oil was valued at about $1 billion in 1911 money. In the eyes of others, it may seem to be a legend, but I think it is the reward for my perseverance and hard work from the God of destiny. That's such a hard line. The reward for my perseverance and hard work from the God of destiny. This is owed to me, John D. Rockefeller, because of my hard work and my perseverance and my busting my ass. All this money, all this fame, all this influence, all this power is meant for me. Now let's circle back to the beginning of this letter. This line, I really love this line. As for how you use the knives and forks that are placed in front of you and how you taste every dish served by the angel of destiny is entirely up to you. Now, I would like to add, these letters, John D. Rockefeller was writing them to his son, John D. Rockefeller Jr. So when you're thinking about, okay, this is, what am I hearing right now? Why is he saying all this stuff? Think of it in the context of a father trying to give advice to his son. And with that added context, listen to this. The glory and success of a family cannot guarantee the future of its children and grandchildren. I admit that an early advantage is really helpful, but it does not guarantee them victory in the end. Junior, I am successful. You have a good start at life, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna win. Just because I did all this hard work does not mean that you're safe. You need to work even harder. There are people who have nothing, who are literally willing to kill to get to your position. It is imperative that you focus and work and achieve, because you might have a head start, but it isn't a sprint. It's a brutal war of attrition. Just because you started ahead doesn't mean that you're gonna stay ahead. It just means that there are even more people who are rooting for your downfall. At the very least, that's what I got from that. John D. Rockefeller Jr., you need to work even harder. I'm successful, but my success doesn't mean that you're gonna be successful. So you need to lock in too. You need to work as well. Then we can also take a more personal look here. Therefore, when you and your sisters were young, I deliberately concealed the fact that I was well off. I instilled many values such as frugality and personal struggle in you because I know that the quickest way to harm someone is to give them money. It can make people corrupt, deprived, arrogant, and cause them to lose their source of happiness. I cannot bury my beloved children in wealth and foolishly make you all into one that is incompetent and only depends on the success of their parents. The quickest way to harm someone is to give them money. I would actually like to add upon that. The quickest way to harm someone is to give them money before they're ready. It's like Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. Money is basically power. And if you give someone power before they're ready, they're gonna wreak havoc. So no, I'm not gonna sit here and say that money is the root of all evil. I don't think it is. I think money is a tool, like a hammer. You can use it to build a house for the homeless, or you can use it to bash someone's face in. I don't think the money is necessarily the problem. Now, if you give kids money really early, they likely aren't gonna develop the proper skills and have the experiences and get humbled to make them into someone who is a good person. So yes, I see exactly where he's coming from, and I do agree. If you give someone money before they're ready, especially if you give children money, if they don't have the experiences that actually make them into good people, then yeah, they're gonna be cooked. They're done, because they're not gonna have the necessary experiences to actually become good people. Now you're gonna love this part. I believe that there is not one person in the world that does not long for a happy and luxurious life. Yet not many people truly understand where it comes from. In my opinion, it does not come from wealthy blood nor a luxurious lifestyle, but from a luxurious character, a spirit of self-reliance. Having money and fame and power is not going to make you happy on the long term. What's going to make you happy is trying to be good, trying to provide value to the world. That's where real fulfillment comes from. Not from lust or pride or anything like that, but from doing things that are good for your soul, that sustain your soul. Now let's circle back to the context. John, every move of yours will be of concern to me. However, as compared to concerned, I am more confident in you. And I believe in your excellent character. A character that is more valued than any wealth in the world, that will help you pave a good future and lead a successful and fulfilling life. A successful and fulfilling life. Fulfilling. Key word there. Even though he's probably one of the richest men on the planet at this point, this really is a concerned father who's trying to look out for his son and who believes in his son. And he then went on to say this: even though the starting point will affect the outcome, it does not determine it. Factors such as ability, attitude, character, ambition, method, experience, and luck play an extremely important role in life and the business world. Your life has just begun, but the battle of life is in front of you. I can deeply feel that you want to be the winner of this war, but you must know that everyone has the will to pursue victory, and only those who are determined and ready will win. My son, the privileged and powerful are a waste, while the educated but unaffected people are a pile of worthless garbage. Find your own way, and God will help you. Love, your father. Did you hear what I heard? War, battle, victory, power. Rockefeller lives in a realm of war, of battle. Son, we are not playing games. We are fighting a war. This is not a game. This is a war. You need to survive and thrive and win. You need to fight, not play. Fight! And let me read this to you again. Even though the starting point will affect the outcome, it does not determine it. Factors such as ability, attitude, character, ambition, method, experience, and luck play an extremely important role in life and the business world. I think this is a really good place to end this off, but I'm going to repeat this line and I just want you to sit and think about it for a couple minutes. The battle of life is in front of you. I can deeply feel that you want to be the winner of this war, but you must know that everyone has the will to pursue victory, and only those who are determined and ready will win. Only those who are determined and ready will win. Thank you very much for listening. I really appreciate it. Please do subscribe and follow me on YouTube and Instagram and all that good stuff. There are links in the description. And leave a comment on what I should cover next.